Arkham City is mine now. 3 months ago, I took down the deadliest villains it had to offer. But just because I'm here doesn't mean criminals will disappear. Now some of them see me as a personal challenge. I'm going to have to stay a step ahead.
Alright, let's turn our bat sensors to the truth. A lot of people were disappointed with the latest Batman game. And I'm one of them, to be honest. It just doesn't have quite the same quality the first two had. It's like the movies, actually. Batman and Batman Returns were freaking great. Batman Forever was less freaking great. Rule of 3, guys, always applies. But in this case, it's not just the rule of 3s. It's also the rule of, oh, handheld versions of console games? Yeah, those are usually poop. Turns out even Batman follows those rules, and he never follows the rules.
Joker.
Hello, valued guest. Do you like what I've done to the place? I haven't quite finished. I'm sure you'll see more of my improvements as you go along.
Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate is, on the one hand, admirable. Instead of shrinking its massive cousin into some gimped handheld version, it takes its own approach. Blackgate's actually a platformer, combining exploration and that sense of Metroidvania with the same combat Arkham Origins is known for. In theory, that's a cool idea. Throw in some comic-styled cutscenes, and it's a great idea. Unfortunately, the game falls dramatically short of its own great ideas, and the Dark Knight never rises to meet them.
Batman, welcome to my arena.
But speaking of doing its own thing, Blackgate also tells its own story. Picks up shortly after Arkham Origins. The game begins with Batman chasing after a thief who happens to look really good in leather. He catches this Catwoman, but she offers him a deal. Turns out Gotham's Blackgate prison's been overrun by the inmates, so she'll use her stealthy leather stealthiness to infiltrate Blackgate and gather intel while Batman saves the freaking day. So the story's kind of cool, and it sets up Blackgate as a pretty massive place, right? I mean, otherwise, why would you need someone gathering intel? The place must be huge, which is a smart thing to establish because the whole game takes place there. So it gives the location a sense of scope it wouldn't otherwise have, especially in contrast to the console game, which really is massive and takes place in lots of places. And again, I love the style of the cutscenes. They're like interactive comic books, which is awesome and obviously fits the material. But that also leads to my first criticism. It's like, you have this unique look during the cutscenes, why not do the whole game that way? Because that's one area where Blackgate does try to be Arkham Origins. It goes for the same dark, gritty visual style, and it just doesn't work as well on a handheld. Batman looks brown, blurry, and kind of boring on the 3DS. Speaking of boring, holy crap, this game's kind of boring. It's mostly because of the backtracking. Since it does the whole Metroidvania thing, a big part of the game's finding items that can open pathways you couldn't previously get to. But once you've taken out the enemies, well, that's it. You just keep walking through the same empty, ugly hallways over and over. So the graphics aren't hot, the design isn't great, and the combat doesn't work well in 2D either. It doesn't feel as fast or responsive as the console version. And just on a basic level, the combat was designed for 3D environments. Squeezing it into these flat levels, it's not as much fun. You know, it's not like Arkham Origins is a stealth game, but it can be. If you're good, there's plenty of opportunities for those stealthy Batman takedowns. Not so much in Blackgate. It's a lot more straightforward in terms of its combat, which really underscores how repetitive those fighting mechanics are.
Boss is not really all there, is he?
You know, when you have a series as successful as the recent Batman games, it's inevitable that they're going to branch out. That's just how it works. When it comes to putting a console game on a handheld, there are two ways you can do it. You can water it down, or start from scratch and do something different, something that better fits a handheld. And it's like, you know, Blackgate wanted to do that, but got scared halfway into it and decided to be in the middle. It's different enough to have potential, but it's the same enough to be a disappointment.
Not even sweating. Aren't you a cool customer? But you wouldn't put heat like that on a helpless girl, would you?
I've got a feeling helpless is one thing you aren't.